Welcome to Healthy Living. I'm Lori Johnson. Thanks for joining us today. Our topic is how to become stronger physically and mentally, because believe it or not, increasing our physical strength can lead to increased mental health as well. My guests are Devan and Morgan Kline, authors of the book Burn, the Burn Boot Camp's 5-step strategy for inner and outer strength. Devan and Morgan, great to see you. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for having us. We're excited to be here and talk more about the book and just the strategies that have helped us and so many others achieve that mental and physical strength.
I've heard of Burn Boot Camp before, but for those people who are watching right now who have never heard of us, give us a quick little background about what Burn Boot Camp actually is.
Yeah, sure. So we are a fitness franchise that started in 2012 from a parking lot with Devan and myself. And then we turned into a franchise in 2015. So we're in 43 states. We have opened over 400 doors, and we are a boot camp, like our name, 45-minute workout that couples both strength training and HIIT training, cardio, to achieve physical fitness. But what's really set us apart is that community and that connection that, you need to have to hold yourself accountable. So we've got over 125,000 members, and Devan and I have had the privilege to see so many different transformations inside and outside of our gym. And so we're excited that we got to write a book about that.
Well, you really are just an amazing couple, and you look like the picture of health, like nothing has ever gone wrong for you, like it comes easily, but you actually have a very poignant story of resilience. Can you share that with us?
Devan and I, we grew up in the same hometown, so we actually are high school sweethearts. But we met in 6th grade, and we came together with two very different stories. But like you said, one of resilience. And mine was losing my father at age 5, and really just understanding what community meant and family meant. And, although that was a hard spot in my life, I am very close with my family, very close with my mom. And it's carried me through, and it's really impacted my life in ways that, I didn't know back when I was 5 years old. But it's what drives me, having my father in heaven is what drives me to make him proud, somebody that I didn't get to spend my life with. And so I've been able to take something that's negative and turn it into a positive thing that fuels me and allows me to see different perspective in the world and in life. So we're high school sweethearts. We kind of went our own separate paths career-wise, and now we've been able to come together and build this brand and this legacy for us and our 3 children. So
yeah, Morgan, I will have to correct you. We are junior high school sweethearts. We even built before high school. So we met when we were 12 years old, and Morgan had been my rock as well as baseball throughout my chaotic upbringing. I spent the first 7 years of my life bouncing from state to state on the West Coast with my mom separated from my dad. And, and then when they got back together, we moved back to Michigan. And, from the time I was 12 to 18, there was 50 criminal charges filed in my household. So it was very chaotic. The police were accompanied every weekend to the house. And so I'd often go over to her house, and her parents would allow me to hang out with her on the couch, of course, as a young man. But for me, it was the resilience was baked into me as a kid, in order to grow up with some resemblance of happiness and of progress. You kind of have to start to, frame things mentally in a way, in a perspective in which, it's not your fault, the situation you were placed in. So I've been mentally strong since I was a 12-year-old boy, and she's been there with me every step of the way.
Well, that's such a beautiful story, and I'm really glad you told it, because the way that you have overcome so many obstacles really shows people that you can do it and they can do it as well, and you know what you're talking about when you give them advice about how to do that. So I wanted to talk about the book, and really what the book talks about are these 5 pillars. And I wanted to spend the rest of our time together drilling down on what these 5 pillars are: burn, nourish, focus, achieve, and connect. And you say all 5 pillars are important. So let's go ahead and talk about the first one, burn. What is that?
Yeah, so burn is exactly what it says, right? It's movement. It's getting up every single day and just doing one hard thing physically to your body. And for us, that is obviously Burn Boot Camp. But in the book, we share different workouts for the people that are reading it, the people that have picked it up. Whether you have a gym near you or you're at home, we have an option for you. We have the workouts in the book, we have on-demand platform, and then we have our physical in gym. But yes, we believe that doing something hard every day, physically challenging yourself, is really that anchor that is going to propel you to continue to make healthy choices throughout the day, whether that's, mentally or spiritually, or with your relationships.
We really lead personal development with anchoring, like Morgan said, the fitness routine in your everyday. So, people have a problem or struggle rather making themselves a priority in their own lives. And by anchoring your life inside of your workout routine, like that's the non-negotiable, that's the thing, like no matter how chaotic life gets, that's the anchor. That's what we mean by anchor. You're going to inevitably gain confidence over time through consistency and dedication, through adhering to, doing something physical, because we all know that if we want to feel better mentally, if we want to feel better emotionally, the best way, the fastest way to do that, ignite your physiology and your psychology will respond.
Well, you do have 12 exclusive workouts in the book. Can you give us an example of what a workout would be?
Yeah. So listen, I mean, body weight, that was the focus of the book, because we've got gyms all over the place. We've got, like Morgan said, 400 in the domestic United States. We have Burn on Demand, which is, if you're not near a gym, you can join us online for a subscription. And then we have this layer, the book, where you don't need to be connected to the internet at all. You don't need to have equipment. You could be in the middle of the woods and you could do the workout routines that are in this book. We say your body is your barbell. And we wanted to make sure that this was just something that was different, the same, but also different than what we offer inside of the gym and on demand. So body weight is the best way.
And the workouts range, it really can range from 20 to 45 minutes based on how you want to pare it down, based on the time that you have to spend on doing that. And you can modify things up and down. So we really want to meet you where you're at.
So the second pillar, as you call them, is nourish. So I'm guessing that this means diet, and you do have 50 recipes that you can make in 10 minutes or less. I love that last part. How great is that? 10 minutes or less.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we talk about small wins as the real tenet of the nourish section here. And what the small win means is, like, let's not try to eat the whale whole or swallow the whale whole. Let's bite one thing off at a time. No pun intended there, but we talk about the cycle of momentum in this chapter, and how just getting a little win can help give you confidence and reinforce the actions that you took, that you should believe in those actions because they're actually getting you results. And when they get your results, you have this reinforced proclivity for action. And that's what small wins are all about. And we really talk about two things. Guys, nutrition is so complicated out there, right? Like, you could go to Google and find like millions of results on what to do and what not to do, and it's all has some level of contradiction. And we just really like to make it easy. We think complexity is the enemy of execution. So we want to make it easy so people can actually execute. So two things that I want to call out from the Nourish chapter: it's 100 G's, or 100 grams of protein on a daily basis, and 100 Z's, or ounces of water. And if you did nothing else with your nutrition but track your protein and track your water, you're going to stay hydrated and satiated and have the amount of protein in your body that you need to repair yourself from the work that we do in the gym. We don't build muscle in the gym. We micro tear our muscle fibers. And so that way, when we get in the kitchen, we eat the protein, which is the fuel for protein synthesis, or the body's mechanism to rebuild the muscle after we break it down. So it's that, and then it's just perspective on nutrition. Like, nutrition is energy. It's either positive energy or it's negative energy. It's not good and bad food. It's, this is going to give me positive energy. This is a living food. This is a dead food. This is going to be negatively associated with energy. And whatever you eat, you become. And we all know that. And so we want to associate ourselves in our diet, which means habitual consumption of food, that is really hard to change, right? We want to not make the diet turn over every week. It shouldn't be changing. It's baked into the definition. It should be habitual. It should be very difficult to change. And so keep the perspective of food as energy, food as fuel, rather than food being something that is good or bad for you.
All right. Eat to live, don't live to eat. I got it. Okay, we're going to take a break and be right back with Devan and Morgan Kline. The book is called Burn, the Burn Boot Camp 5-Step Strategy for Inner and Outer Strength. Stay with us. Welcome back to Healthy Living. We are continuing our discussion with Devan and Morgan Kline, authors of the book Burn, the Burn Boot Camp 5-Step Strategy for Inner and Outer Strength. And we talked about steps 1 and steps 2 in the last segment, which are burn, that's exercise, nourish, that's the diet, and then number 3 is focus. What's that all about?
Yeah, so focus and believe is really that strategy. And, we've found early in our career of Burn Boot Camp, we did focus a lot on just that physical workout, right? That fitness product that we have. But it didn't take Devan and I long to understand that if you don't have it right in between your ears and there's not that belief system, that you won't be able to achieve what you set out, whether that's a physical goal or not. And so in this strategy, we really talk just about belief in yourself, the words that you're using, the thoughts that you're allowing into your head, because we have thousands and thousands of thoughts that run through our mind every day, positive and negative. And we get to be at the gatekeeper of what comes in and then what goes out. And so we give some strategies around really just that narrative that you're going to allow in your head, the people you're going to surround yourself with, because how you look at yourself and how you see yourself and the belief that you have and the goals that you can achieve has an impact on whether or not you're going to be able to do that.
Yeah, emotional intelligence to me was the big part of this, and Morgan hit on it. But there's a whole section in the book that just talks about how language is the root cause to emotional intelligence, either being working for you or working against you. And sometimes we'll say things like, "Oh, I don't know," and we'll say it in a tone that's indifferent, or "Oh, fine," or "Okay." And what we don't realize, or maybe we do, but what we point out in the book is that, from our experience, most people don't realize that those little vague gray area words of language actually pull you down away from emotional intelligence and away from certainty, which is a universal human need. So we discuss universal human needs, mental toughness, emotional intelligence, as a way to begin to really cement the beliefs that you have. You're working hard in the gym every day to go from a 20-pound weight to a 30-pound weight. Well, let's open up the pathway to let the physical fitness impact the mental fitness. So by picking up the weight, you become more confident.
So this is, to me, if I could sort of editorialize, would be really the root problem for a lot of us who already know what it means to eat right and exercise, but are self-talk, and we just need the right motivation to do it.
Yeah. What are those thoughts that you're allowing into your head? What are the words that you're speaking about yourself, to even others? Because all of that stuff are little things that add up. And if it's in a negative state, then it is going to impact how hard you're working or how motivated you stay in those down periods.
And we can change our thinking. All right, let's move on to the next pillar, which is achieve. What does that mean?
So achieve is all about goal setting. And, we wanted to have a take on goal setting that was really well-rounded. We have these things called focus meetings inside of the gym where, our 2,000 plus burn trainers will sit down one-on-one with members. And we really talk about goal orientation and achievement, because we know progress is happiness, and you don't need to be the most fit, the most wealthy. You don't need to be the best in your industry. As long as you're making progress in a positive direction, you're going to feel that sense of happiness. And so, or at least most of the time. And so what we try to do is take 8 pieces of the pie. We call it the burn lifestyle in the achieve chapter. And we break down how to set goals using this burn lifestyle. So it's body, mind, emotion, spirit, it's relationships, it's time, it's work, it's money. It goes beyond fitness, what most people think burn is. And sure, we love our product, we love fitness, but this is about the self-actualization of us as individuals, and fitness just happens to be a tool that can jumpstart that pretty tangibly for us all. Well, once you get into the body a little bit and you start feeling the confidence from working out every day, and we differentiate between activity, exercise, and demanding training. When you're training yourself in a demanding way, that means you don't think you can do it. You may not want to do it, but those are the triggers those are the times in which you go do it, even though your mind doesn't want you to, that you're going to start conditioning your mind to be better. And so you see each piece of the pie is reciprocates with one another. And we go through each piece of the pie and some suggestions around how you can really set a vision. We call it a North Star goal, but also how to break that vision down into daily routines for each one of those 8 pieces of the pie that are habits that you can repeat. So we take the vision and we reverse engineer it and break it down on a daily basis via 8 areas of our life.
One thing that we've found, again, with talking to a lot of people and just being speakers on stages even, is most people don't have a vision for their life. Most people haven't sat down and figured out what that North Star looks like. And if you don't design your life, like, it's just going to go, right? It's just going to run for you, and someone else is going to design it. And so going back to just goal setting and making sure that you have that long-term vision, and then how do you break that down into those small chunks and the different pieces of the pie? If you're listening to this right now, it's ask yourself that question, like, what does a perfect day look like for me? And what is the vision for my life? And if you don't have that, like, you deserve to have that. You deserve to have a vision, and then you get to achieve that. So
that's what really profound. I love it. I love it how you say progress is happiness. That is so true. And making these goals and achieving goals, that feels really good. All right, we're going to take another break and be right back with Devan and Morgan Kline. The book is called Burn, the Burn Boot Camp's 5-step strategy for inner and outer strength. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Healthy Living. We're continuing our discussion with Devan and Morgan Kline, authors of the book Burn, the Burn Boot Camp 5-step strategy for inner and outer strength. So we talked about 4 out of the 5 pillars. The last one is connect. And you talked about this a little bit earlier about the importance of community.
I believe this is what has set us apart over this last 10 years of building our brand, is the community that we've been able to foster within our gyms, but also outside of our gyms now, because we are digital. And, people will say all the time, I came for the workout, but I stayed for the people. And that's something that we're really, really proud of, is that culture and that community, because we understand the importance of connecting. And it's even more important in today's world, right? Coming out of pandemic and being very sheltered and kind of going and reclusing back home. Studies have shown that that is caused even more depression in our world. And when you can connect with people and you have accountability and you have shared goals with other people and you can feel that connection, you are more likely to achieve those goals that you've set out for yourself. You're more likely to find happiness, in that true connection, because that's who we are in nature and in our beings, is we're supposed to be around people. And, with technology and the growth of it, we have separated ourselves quite a bit. And so one of our missions is to keep people connected, physically, because we see how that impacts not just your workout, but also your mental state and your ability to achieve your goals.
What I thought was really interesting was you said that having good physical health, being strong physically, can actually not only impact your mental health, but your financial health. Can you talk about that a little?
Yeah. So when you build confidence through physical fitness and through kind of your mental health, you're more confident to achieve more, right? Because you build that confidence muscle, and confidence is just reps. It's just doing things over and over again, getting better at them, and proving to yourself that you have what it takes to go after whatever you need to. And so when you can prove that in other areas of your life, like picking up a heavier weight or doing a push-up on your toes, you've built that little small confidence, and that translates outside of out of the gym. And it pushes you to maybe go for that promotion or start that business or take a chance on yourself, because you built that self-confidence within yourself. So that's the anchor that we believe, is that physical fitness. It's doing something that's challenging because it has impacts that transcend fitness. And we see that in our own selves, right? We've accomplished financial success more than we ever dreamed of, but it's because we do things over and over again outside of our comfort zone. We build confidence, and it creates just a mantra and within yourself of what can't I do? And for us, that's then brought in many different ways, not just money.
Wow. Yeah, it's the same mindset. You just carry it throughout all of the day, week, year, your entire life. It's very exciting, very motivating. All right, I'm ready to go. Let's take one final break, and we'll be right back with Devan and Morgan Kline. The book is called Burn, the Burn Boot Camp's 5-step strategy for inner and outer strength. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're talking with Devan and Morgan Kline, authors of the book Burn, the Burn Boot Camp 5-step strategy for inner and outer strength. Unfortunately, we're almost out of time, but I have to say, you two are really good at what you do, because I know for myself, I feel very energized and motivated to be a little bit healthier, because it benefits in every possible way throughout our lives. I'm sure a lot of our viewers would like to know where they can get the book and find out more about you.
Yeah, I would definitely like to just end this with saying that what we're all after is confidence, right? Like, that is the common denominator. That's the fabric that is woven throughout every area of your life. And if you are after confidence rather than happiness, right? Happiness is fleeting. It comes and it goes, but confidence is permanent. Like Morgan said, it takes reps. And this book is for that. If you're somebody that knows your self-worth and you're looking for tips and strategies and to increase that over time, then, Burn can be found on Amazon, Walmart, Target, online. We have a Burn Bootcamp app as well, that if anybody out there is interested in joining our community digitally or finding one of our locations, you can find the app. But we would just appreciate your support. And this book has changed thousands of people's lives, transformed thousands of people mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And we can't wait to get this into the hands of those who haven't heard about Burn Bootcamp yet, because it's truly life-changing when you're focused on waking up every day to gain more confidence.
All right. Well, thank you again so much for being with us. It's been a real pleasure. We appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
And thanks to you for joining us for this edition of Healthy Living. I'm Lori Johnson, and we'll see you again next week.